tightness that's accumulated since the class. So perhaps if you want to just wake up the hips a little bit, you can take hold of one foot. Just rock the baby. And then placing that foot down, take the other foot. I can feel super stiff in my hips this morning, my glutes, hip flexors. Yes, I'm definitely going to need today's class. So if you want, you can take Padmasana, which is a lotus position, or Sukhasana cross-legged. So in Sukhasana, you can have the shins parallel with each other. So imagine like you have a triangle with the legs to the pelvis. Or taking Padmasana, lotus, so bringing the feet up, either in half lotus, so just taking the one foot up, or taking both. So only move into this if it feels comfortable for you. So I want you to be in a comfortable seat. Okay, only in a comfortable seat, so don't go into any position that doesn't work. So I'm going to go into half lotus, just the one foot. Bringing the other foot, scooching the one foot under a little bit. So bringing that focus and attention inwards, closing the eyes, and bringing a gentle awareness to your breath, the flow of the breath, in and out. Breathing in and out through the nose. Observe the simple sensations of the breath and feel the breath. Feel where the breath is going to. And very gently start to lengthen the breath in and lengthen the breath out. And then checking your position of your body, your alignment. Shoulders over hips, crown of the head centered over the pelvis. Feel the shoulders away from the ears, so checking you're not holding any tension in the neck and shoulders. Little openness across the sternum, the heart, across the collarbones. So just a gentle bringing in of the shoulder blades, very gently. Maybe bringing a little ujjayi sound, just a soft whispering of the breath in the back of the throat. Achieved in the same way as if you were fogging up a mirror, like going but with the lips closed. Just helping you to further energize the breath and focus a little bit more sharply, a little bit more with pinpoint focus on the breath. So you'll be noticing the breath in the back of the throat. Feel the sensations of the chest, the rib cage, and the belly as they expand and rise on the breath in. And feel that little pause between the breath in and the breath out as you turn the corner and hold. And then releasing the breath and letting the breath go. Softly and gently. Maybe placing your hands in your lap, or having your hands on the knees, just resting gently with the palms facing up. If you're choosing this option, maybe touching the pointer finger and thumb together, spreading the remaining fingers wide. This is a mudra that symbolizes the connecting of universal and individual consciousness. So feeling yourself connected with the world around you, with the universe. And today I'd like to just let us think of what yoga means. So in philosophy, yoga is a lot more than just physical postures. Yoga could mean unity, and it can be a way of life. It's more than just the physical postures that we take, the asanas. So the physical side is only one part. And if we were to look at the philosophy, some of the ancient texts, you'd see that there are so many more things than just physically moving. And if we look at Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which is one that I refer to quite a lot, and is one of the really big texts, the philosophical text in yoga, Patanjali reminds us to take a comfortable seat. And so that physical side is just one element. And he draws this picture of yoga being and comprising of 8 limbs. And the 8 limbs are yamas, those are ethical considerations, moral discipline, those are yamas, niyamas, which are observances of the self. Then the asanas, the third one, that's your postures, the physical side of our yoga practice. Pranayama, breath control. Pratyahara, sense withdrawal. So that's when we close down the senses, not listening to outer sounds, that sounds outside of the room. We're really focusing, and that's our concentration, dharana. And then dhyana, the absorption into meditation, the concentration in meditation. And then finally, the 8th limb, samadhi, enlightenment or bliss. So today I was thinking about the yama, one of the yamas, the moral disciplines, the ethical considerations. It's really quite in the forefront of my mind right now is ahimsa, which is non-violence, non-harming, not hurting others. So non-violence in all aspects of life. So really that bit relates to both the physical, so not harming others physically, not harming nature, not thinking negative thoughts towards other people, towards yourself. So in the presence of this, one finally establishes non-violence and all hostilities will cease. So just thinking of not being violent towards anything. So ahimsa. Ahimsa was my thought that I woke up with this morning. On the news, that's a really big thing at the moment. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. So just spending a little moment thinking of ahimsa. Non-violence, not harming self, others, nature. Physically, mentally, verbally. So take this opportunity of stillness to affirm your intention, your positive intention. And that's something that deeply resonates with you. So make it personal to you and give that intention real clarity, a real definite vision. And once you see that in your inner mind's eye, repeat it to yourself 3 times silently, in the present tense, in this present moment. Slowly opening up the eyes and remembering about the non-violence, bringing you back to that. Be kind to yourself, and if anything does hurt you, then stop. This should be a comfortable, challenging practice, but do not go to that place where anything hurts. So really listen to your body. So come out of postures that don't feel right. If you need to rest, if you feel overwhelmed, then come into child's pose. This is your practice and your time. So I'm here to just guide you, and we can do things together, but not all of those will work for you maybe at any one stage. So listen to yourselves and make it your practice. So coming off the block, off your cushions, going to come into Dandasana start pose. So extending the legs long now and engage the thighs. Flex the feet actively towards you. Take your hands either side of the buttocks, either side of the hips. Tuck the elbows in tight. And imagine your back is pressing against the wall behind you. Begin to engage Mula Bandha. Squeeze and lift into the pelvic floor. Really active. So cinching, squeezing in, it's like drawing in a drawstring. Pulling in, and then imagine pulling up with that drawstring towards the heart center, along with your Uddiyana Bandha, your navel to spine. So switch those two on at the base of your core, drawing chin to chest. The length in the back of the neck. Mahabandha, all three bandhas working together. Drishti, either with the eyes closed just for a moment, or taking the drishti to the big toes. Feel as though someone's pulling you from a thread from the top of the head up to the sky. So feel the spine grow long and tall. Flowing continuous Ujjayi breath in and out. Two more deep breaths in and out. On your next breath in, they'll tilt back, cross the legs, roll over the knees, and then coming in onto all fours. Vinyasa. Taking a little cat-cow. So stacking the hands underneath the shoulders. Pointer finger, middle finger, facing forwards. Either of those, depending how your wrists feel, but sending the inner creases of your elbows forwards, open up across the chest, the collarbones. Scoop and lift navel to spine. Then taking a nice deep breath in, so your knees are hip distance apart and knees beneath the hips. We're going to take our cow, so lifting the heart and tailbone, looking up. Then exhale, tucking the tailbone under, arch the upper back to the sky, drop the chin towards the chest. Big breath in, flowing through to cow. Exhale, tuck and squeeze and lift. Two more, inhale. Exhale. Push into the hands. Then into a neutral spine, walk the hands forwards just a little bit and tuck the toes. Lift the knees, hover the knees just an inch off the mat. Squeeze and lift, navel to spine. Belly lifts. Engage the thighs and glutes. And then starting to send the hips back towards the heels. And then lifting the tailbone up to the sky. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Clicking away, here I am. On the ankles, ankle joints, bones in the feet. Just waking everything up there. Limbering up. A little stretch in the backs of the legs, maybe coming up and down onto the tips of the toes. Rising up. Maybe taking yourself from side to side. So wagging your tail, imagine your tail wagging side to side. Keep the arms and shoulders completely still, because everything's happening from halfway down the torso to the feet. Reset here. So the heels reaching down towards the mat, but it's not important that they touch. Draw your chin towards your chest. Send your drishti towards your navel. And lift your navel towards your spine. Feel as though you're pointing your tailbone up towards the sky. Sending your armpits down towards the floor. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Really fill the lungs. Open the mouth and sigh the breath out. Deep breath in, fill the lungs. Sigh the breath out. Another deep breath in. Open the mouth, stick the tongue out too this time. Lion's breath. Releasing anything that doesn't serve you. On your next breath in, you'll bend in the knees. Walk the feet up to the top of the mat and just take a little ragdoll. So keep the feet hip distance apart, clasping opposite elbows. Take a little sway from side to side, bend in the knees if you need to, if the hamstrings aren't ready yet. So be generous there if you need to be. Nod the head yes, shake the head no. Maybe draw some little circles with the nose both directions, just checking that you're really letting the head hang heavy, taking no tension in the neck and shoulders. Feel the connection if you've bent your legs a little bit, knees a little bit. Feel that connection of the belly to the thighs. It feels really good. And then releasing the hands to the floor. Feel yourself firming up into the feet, firming up into the legs as you curl yourself up very, very slowly through the vertebrae, stacking the spine straight. Eventually the head coming up last. So we're stacking the spine nice and tall as we come up into mountain pose, Tadasana. Bringing the feet a little closer together, either the big toes touching or feet hip distance apart. You choose what works for you. Lifting all 10 toes off the mat and then replanting them firmly into the earth. So spreading the toes wide, then feeling the kneecaps lift as you squeeze into the quads. Checking in on your pelvis, giving a little tilt forwards if you need to, just to take out any extra curve in the lower spine. Roll the shoulders back and down. A little squeeze together of the shoulder blades. Openness through the chest. Openness through the collarbones, the heart center. But check you're not flaring the lower ribs. Feel the spine grow tall at the back. Energize the arms all the way to the fingertips. And drawing the chin ever so slightly towards the chest. So not jutting the chin, just checking that you're growing that spine extra long and tall. So feel that thread pulling from the top of the head up to the sky. Reconnect with the rhythm of your breath, in and out through the nose. Whispering Ujjayi sounding breath. 3 rounds Surya Namaskar. A. Inhale, sweep the arms wide, lift the arms up to the sky, look up as the hands draw together, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive over the legs into Uttanasana. Soften into the knees if you need to, drop the head. Inhale, taking a half lift, so bring the hands to the shins, scoop the belly up, gaze forwards, flat back. Plant the hands firmly into the mat and step your feet back into plank. Drop the knees, chest, chin, and then coming into a little cobra, just gently looking up. Exhale, push into the hands, coming through tabletop to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Taking a gentle transition there as we begin to warm up the body. Chin to chest, drishti to navel, navel to spine, heels towards the mat. Take a nice deep breath in, deep breath out. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. On your next breath in, Come onto the tips of the toes, then bend the knees. So the thighs come towards the belly, look to the top of your mat. Step or jump lightly, your choice, exhaling to the top. Take your breath in, half lift, fingertips or hands to shins, flat back. Exhale deeply, forward fold. Maybe straighten the legs a little bit more this time. Root the feet firm up into the thighs as you lift. Arms wide all the way to the top. Look up to your hands, look up to your thumbs. Hands through center, Samastitihi. Back to mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhales, arm reach wide, looking up to your thumbs. Exhale, swan dive, forward folding, Uttanasana over the legs. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Hold the breath, plant the hands firmly as you step or jump into your plank. Exhale, lower through plank into Chaturanga Dandasana or knees, chest, chin, your choice. Inhale into your upward facing dog or a little cobra, your choice. Exhale into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So if you're in that mini cobra, take the Vinyasa tabletop option to transition. Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Spread the fingers wide. Checking the softness in the elbows. Don't want to lock out the knees or the elbows. So making sure the shoulders are not hunching by the ears, create space there. Sliding the shoulder blades a little bit apart. Feel openness across the chest, across the collarbones. Scoop and lift navel to spine actively. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Both of those bandhas engaged. On your next breath in, a little bend in the knees as you're coming up onto your tippy toes. Look forwards to the top of the mat. Hop or jump or step to the top. Breathing in, half lift. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, sweeping the arms wide, lifting to the top. Little micro back bend if that feels good. So just sending the hips slightly forward, the arms a little bit back, hands through center, Samastiti. Back to Tadasana, last one. Inhale, arms reach wide, look up to thumbs. Exhale, deeply fold forwards over the legs. Hinge from the hip creases. Plant the hands firmly into the mat. And if you need to bend the knees, then please do so. Take your breath in, half lift. Then plant the hands as you step and jump or jump back into your plank. Exhale through Chaturanga, knees, chest, chin if you want. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Draw navel to spine very actively. If you're coming from full upward facing dog. Check in with your breath. Check in with all of those little pointers. Drishti to navel, navel to spine. Heels down towards the mat, just reaching, they don't have to touch. Bend in the knees as you come onto the tips of the toes. Look forward. Exhale, step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Forward fold deeply. Plant the hands. Draw the head down towards the legs. Crown of the head towards the floor. Root the feet firm up the thighs as you lift with control. All the way up into Urdhva Hastasana. Look up to your hands. Hands through center, Samastiti. Back to mountain pose. Close the eyes just for a moment. Check in with the body, how it feels. Feeling the warmth beginning to build in the body. Feel the balance in your feet. Feel the connection of your feet to the earth. Feel them rooted and grounded. Maybe playing with the feet, just tilting forwards and back just a little bit. Feel the difference between the heels and the balls of the feet. And then a gentle sway side to side, left foot, right foot. And then coming into center. So feel that equal balance between the front and the back of the feet, the sides, the center. Opening up the eyes. Surya Namaskar B. Taking a deep breath in, bending the knees. As you sweep your hands down, touch the earth with your fingertips, and then reaching the arms up towards the sky. Lift and scoop the belly to spine, look up between the hands, squeeze into the thighs and glutes. Exhale, forward fold deeply. Plant the hands firmly to the earth, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift, fingertips or hands on shins, and scoop the belly up. Plant the hands, hold the breath as you step or jump into plank. Exhale, lower through chaturanga, or taking knees, just chin, your choice. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest to the cup. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Let's float the right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Then bend that knee and draw some circles with the knee. So I'd like you to work into your hips. One more big circle, three-legged dog. Then bring your weight a little bit forwards into hands, come onto the tippy toes of your left foot. Draw that right knee into your chest. Touch your nose with your knee if you can. Scoop and lift. Stepping lightly forward, coming into Ashta Chandrasana. So in the ball of the back foot, back leg is pretty straight, driving into the back heel, but having the heel lifted. Inhale, looking up to your hands, squeeze the thighs towards each other, squeeze into the hips. This is a little bit of a balance, so hold it here, nice and strong, breathing deeply. Big breath in, reach forwards, frame the front foot. Step that front foot back into plank. Exhale through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale for a full upward facing dog, or stick with your cobra, your choice. Exhale, drive the hips back, pull that navel into spine. Inhale, three-legged dog on the left side. Then bend into the knee and draw some circles with the knee. Working into the corners of your hip joint. One more big circle, then coming back into three-legged dog. Come on the ball of the right foot, draw the knee into chest. Weight slightly into the hands, touch the nose with the knee, lightly stepping forward silently between the hands, stacking the body up over the pelvis, reaching up, looking up, squeeze those hips and thighs and glutes, everything nice and strong. One big breath in, reaching forwards, exhale, frame the front foot. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. 2 deep breaths in and out. On your next breath in, coming onto tippy toes. Bend the knees, keep the hips high if you're jumping. Exhale to the top, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold deeply. Plant the hands, drop the head. Inhale into chair, Utkatasana. So sweeping the hands to touch the fingertips to the earth. Reaching the arms forwards, follow your hands with your gaze, Utkatasana. Then root to rise, inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms back down by your sides. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Hold the breath, plant the hands firmly, step or jump back into plank. Exhale, lower, chaturanga or knees, just chin. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, kicking the right leg to the sky, then stepping it straightly forwards. Drop the back heel, warrior one. Looking up, bring your palms of your hands together if you can. Look up to your thumbs. Exhale, frame the front foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Breath in, left leg lifts to the sky, then kicking it straight away forwards between the hands, drop the back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, frame the front foot. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Reset the breath. Nice and steady, continuous and even. Hearing the Ujjayi sound. Bringing in fresh new energy, fresh new prana and life force into the body. On your next breath in, rising up onto the tips of the toes, bend the knees towards, thighs towards the belly, look forwards, exhale, lightly step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, arms back by your sides. Last round, inhale, chair. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, half lift, plant the hands, start to jump back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, over Mukhasvanasana. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, kicking the right leg between the hands. Warrior one breath. Exhale, as you lower down, upward facing dog as you breathe in. Drive those hips back, scoop the belly. Inhale, kicking the left leg towards the hands, friend. And drop the back heel, warrior one breath, Virabhajasana. Frame the front foot, inhale, coming into plank, exhale, lower. Breath in, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Taking the nice deep breath in, fill the lungs. Open the mouth, sigh the breath out. Big breath in, fill the lungs again. Sigh the breath out. One more. On your next breath in, little bend in the knees. Coming onto the tips of the toes. Jumping forwards. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Utkatasana chair. Sweeping those hands, touch the tips of the fingers to the earth. Follow the hands with the gaze. Squeeze the thighs towards each other. Looking up between the hands and bring the palms of the hands together if that feels okay. Then lowering down a little bit more, so sinking the hips lower. Bring the hands to the heart center. Taking a nice big breath in. Exhale, twisting over to the right. So hooking the left elbow over the right knee. Keeping the thighs glued towards each other. Keeping the knees level. So don't twist in the legs. Twist is in the body, in the torso. Looking up over your right shoulder. If you want to spread your wings wide, open the arms, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Looking up. Inhale, hands back to heart center. Exhale, over to the left. So really hook the elbow, cross the knee, lift the left elbow right up to the sky. It's like stacking the hands one above the other. Twist from the chest to the side. Open your wings wide. Look up to your top hand. Squeeze those thighs towards each other. Keep the legs strong. Draw navel to spine. Big breath in. Back to center. Reach your hands forwards to the mat. Straighten the legs. Bring the feet hip distance apart. And plant your hands firmly either side of your feet or in front of the feet. If you can, bring the hands next to the feet. Uttanasana. So lifting that tailbone up to the sky, so you're tilting the pelvis forwards. Drawing the belly down onto the thighs. If you need to micro bend the knees, micro bend the knees. Feel as though the crown of the head is reaching down to the floor. Focus on the breath. Then coming up onto fingertips, take a step out with your left foot to the side. And then pivoting on the feet so that you can line yourself up for Trikonasana. So you have a 45-degree angle on the left leg foot, and the right foot pointing to the top of the mat. Use a block if you need to for your Trikonasana. If you need to place your right hand onto a block, either sideways or vertical, your choice. Take the hand, though if you're not using the block, into the inside of the right calf, and then imagine you bringing yourself between two planes of glass, opening the chest to the side, tuck the buttocks, the hips under. Don't let them jut out to the back. So don't dump into that lower hand. Scoop and lift into the side body. So reach your right hand towards me. Look up to your top hand. One big breath in. Exhale, look down to your front foot. And then coming into half moon. So having that block to the right. Bring your weight into that right leg. So your right hand's on the block. Bringing your right leg so it's pretty much straight, and the left leg is at a 90-degree angle, so it's parallel to the earth. No higher than hip height. If you can, look up to your top hand. So you're opening the chest to the side. Big breath in, look down to your front foot. With control, lower the top arm, lower the back leg. Coming into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Windmill that left arm overhead. Check your feet. If you need to widen the feet, take the feet a little bit further apart, then please do. So you don't want that front knee to oversail the right knee over the ankle. So you should be able to see your front big toe. Reach the fingertips away. Soften the neck, soften the face. Look to your front middle finger. Sink a little lower. Extend your side angle, forearm to thigh. Windmill that left arm overhead. Reach away up in the chest to the side. Hold something precious in your right hand. Look up with your gaze to your top hand. Strong, even breaths. Then from here, clasping your hands behind your back, coming into humble warrior. So sending the right shoulder towards the right knee, lift the arms up towards the sky, crown of the head towards the floor. Two more breaths. From here, release the arms and bring them in front of your right foot. Sink a little lower. See if you can bring your elbows down to the floor. If you can't bring the elbows down, don't worry, just drop the head down a little bit more. If you want to use your block, you can use your block for the hands or the head. So reaching down. From here, we're going to have a go at Ekapada Koundinyasana, flying split. So listen to what I'm doing. We're going to come round on that left foot a little bit. So on the ball of the back foot. You're going to take your right arm underneath the right leg. So taking the arm underneath. So now your shoulder is underneath the back of the right leg. Gonna wiggle that right foot forwards and bending into the elbows, bend into the elbows. See if you can just come into what feels like a flying split. This is a sort of entry level. So that leg is forwards and the back leg is forwards, is back. If you want to go a little bit deeper, reaching the, oh, I'm hitting the piano, lifting the back leg if you can, and the front leg. I'm not there yet. That would be your flying split. So from here, drop the back knee, and we're going to come around to the other side. So scooching round to face the side, folding forwards. Parasarita, Padottanasana. Bring the elbows in, tuck the elbows in. Round the head towards the floor. Coming up onto the fingertips. Looking to your right foot again. Pivoting round. Face the top of your mat. Step that left foot forwards. Right foot back. We're coming back into the sequence of Trikonasana on the other side. So I'm going to turn around to face, so I can still face you and not face the side. So you have your left foot forwards, your right foot back. The legs are straight, 45-degree angle on the back foot. Placing the hand on the block if you need to, or taking the hand to the inside of the left calf into open the chest to the side, looking up to your top hand. Squeeze into the hips, into the glutes. So you're really tucking the buttocks under, so making sure the bum isn't sticking out. Tuck the under, look up to your top hand, and then reaching your lower hand towards me. Hold it here. 2 more breaths. Lift into the side body. And then slowly looking down to your front foot, bend into the front leg, coming into warrior 2. Widen your feet if you need to. Reaching the arms away, sinking into the hips, but the body remains vertical over the pelvis. Soften into the face, neck and jaw, look to your front middle finger. Sink a little lower. Forearm to thigh, arm overhead, extended side angle, looking up to your top hand. Holding something precious in that left hand. Don't have it just flopping there doing nothing. Looking down, coming into humble warrior. Taking the hands behind the back. Bringing that left shoulder down towards the left knee. Dropping the crown of the head down towards the floor. So we're working towards flying split. It's a new balance for me too. So we'll work into it week by week. Dropping down now the hands in front of that left foot. So sinking a little bit deeper into the hips. We're working into the hips today. So bringing the elbows down. If you need to use your block to put the elbows down, if they don't reach the floor, press into a block. Use your props. And then taking that left hand underneath the left leg. So we have ourselves, there's like a little ledge there for the leg. And then wiggling that left foot forwards, bend into the elbows, reach forwards, send the leg to the side. This is super challenging, but just trust with it. So it's in a little bit of a split position, flying splits. Scooching that foot back in, coming to the side. Bending forwards, folding from the hip creases. Drawing the crown and head down towards the earth. Draw the elbows in like chaturanga. Maybe the head comes down to touch. If the head is down, you want to take a little tripod headstand. Go for your little tripod headstand just for one breath. Then slowly bring yourself up halfway. Inhale, hands to hips. Big breath in, push into the feet. Bring yourself up vertical, look to the front of your mat. Step the feet together. Back to your mountain pose. Grabbing your strap if you have one. If you need that for your holding the arm balance in the standing arm balance. So today we're standing into our right foot. Root the right foot down. Going to use your strap or holding onto the big toe. So you take your right hand to your hip and then extending the left leg forwards. Bring yourself down over the left leg. So use your strap or hold onto the big toe. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So find that spot on the floor with your drishti. Root the standing foot into the earth, particularly the mound of the big toe. Squeeze and lift into your bandhas. Drawing the head down towards the leg as much as you can. Another 2 deep breaths. Don't worry if you wobble. Challenge is good. Working on our flying splits. Super challenging too. All is coming with practice. Lowering the leg down with control. Switching over to the other side. Use your strap or use the peace fingers around the big toe. Root that left foot into the earth. Mound of the big toe. Reaching the foot forwards. Scoop and lift into the belly. So drawing the head down towards the leg. Another 2 breaths. Slowly releasing the leg down. Coming into eagle pose. 2 options. Standing leg right side. Bringing the left foot across. Open the knee to the side. Flex into the left foot. Taking the hands to the heart center. And sinking down, keeping the chest lifted, gaze forwards. Option 2. Eagle arms. Eagle legs. Two more deep breaths. And release. Over to the other side. Taking the foot across. Option, hand to heart center. Or eagle legs. Eagle arms. So opposite arms to opposite leg. Bind. Two more breaths. Slowly release. Stepping out to the side. Back to Prasarita. Taking the hands behind your back, open the chest, feet parallel with each other. Hinging from the hip creases. Reaching forwards, lifting the arms up towards the sky. Crown of the head reaching down towards the mat. Arms reaching up towards the sky. Two more breaths. Bring the weight into the toes a little bit more. So a little bit lower down with the head. Hands to hips. Inhale, coming up. And then turning your feet to face the front of your mat. Feet hip distance apart this time. Right leg facing forwards, left foot to 45-degree angles, but the hips face forwards. So they're not to the side, they're facing forwards. Taking the opposite elbows, clasping opposite elbows, and taking reverse breath. Big breath in, open the chest, look up. Exhale, squeezing into the hips. Squeeze the thighs towards each other whilst folding over your front right leg. Drishti to the right toe, big toe. Push that left hip forward a bit and the right hip back. So it's almost like you're trying to squeeze the hips towards each other, the thighs towards each other. With the exhale, folding down a little bit more. On your next breath in, coming halfway up, and then taking the right hand onto the right hip, the left hand either onto a block or onto the outside of your right foot, twisting and opening the chest to the side. Taking revolve triangle. Now try to squeeze the thighs towards each other. Imagine they're trying to squeeze and touch. They can't, but energetically towards each other, hips towards each other. Squeeze and lift into the belly, open that chest a little bit more to the side, and then opening your right arm up to the sky, looking up if you can. 2 more breaths. Squeeze and lift, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Big breath in, look down to your front foot. Taking your left hand onto your block, taking revolved Ardha Chandrasana. So revolved half moon. Weight into the right leg, lift the left leg up to that 90-degree angle, parallel to the earth. Open the chest to the right, still towards the right, looking up to your right arm. Two more breaths. Exhale, looking down, lowering the foot to join to the side of the right, and then taking the right foot back to that 45-degree angle, hip distance apart. Coming back up to standing, resetting yourself, hips face forwards. Revolved. Taking all the twists now. So first we take our reverse prayer, all clasping opposite elbows. Check those hips still facing forwards. Squeeze the thighs towards each other. Inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, looking up. Exhale, hinging from the hip creases, folding forwards. Koundinyasana. Over that front leg. Pyramid pose. Crown of the head reaching down towards the earth. So the belly lands onto the thigh. If you have a reverse prayer, push the hands towards each other. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and send the shoulders away from the ears. Scoop and lift navel to spine. Draw that right hip forward, left hip in. Scoop and lift into belly, into Mula Bandha. Lots going on here. On a breath in, coming halfway up. Take yourself into your revolved Trikonasana, Parivita Trikonasana. Left hand, left hip. Taking the right hand on the outside of the left foot. Spin the chest to the left. Use a block for your right hand if that feels better. If you can't reach down to the floor, use the props, remembering this is your practice. So using that squeezing of the legs towards each other, squeeze into the hips for stability, because this is a wobble potential pose. Opening up the chest to the side, keep the left hand onto your hip if you need to, or opening it up to the sky, looking up to your top hand. Steady breaths in and out. Lift that navel up to spine. Scoop it up. A little bit more to squeeze into the thighs, in towards each other. Inhale, looking down. Taking your right hand on your block, or your Parivita Ardha Chandrasana, revolved half moon. Bringing that right leg up, parallel to the earth. Opening the chest to the side, looking up. Steady, even breaths. Big breath in. Slowly lowering the foot down alongside the left. Push into those feet into the earth. Roll yourselves up to standing. 2 options now. Coming into handstand against the wall, or a free handstand in the room if you have it, or taking a reverse handstand. So imagine you're standing upside down, push your hands up towards the ceiling. Scoop and lift your belly, stacking your spine straight. Imagine you are doing your handstand. Switch your entire body on. Or kicking up against the wall, against something, make sure it's safe where you are. If you're taking that reverse handstand, it's like you're trying to push your hands into the ceiling. Switch your glutes on, switch the thighs on, belly strong, as if you're doing a handstand. If I'm doing a handstand myself, my hands are pressing into the earth. Scoop and lift that belly up, super, super strong. Uddiyana Bandha, Mula Bandha. Squeeze the shoulder blades, squeezing everything, lifting up into your handstand. Looking between your hands, or bringing the head between the arms. Point those toes to the sky if you can. If you're in your reverse handstand, push into the ceiling. Imagine you're driving your hands into the ceiling. 2 more breaths. If you're in the handstand, very, very much in control, coming out. Right, into our splits sequence. So, first we're going to step our left foot back and drop the left knee to the earth. Untuck the back toes. Coming to Koundinyasana. Reaching up, looking up to the hands. Sinking into the hips. Driving the hips forward a little bit so you're really stretching to these hip flexors. Then bring the left hand down to the earth. Reaching the right arm up to the sky. Taking a little twist. And then bringing the right hand down to next to the right foot, twisting the other way. Bring that hand down. Flex the back foot. And then just taking that kind of pyramid pose again. Come into a little standing split from pyramid pose. So first we're folding over the front leg and then taking your weight, coming to a flat back position. You're now standing into, I need to move this piano stool because my head is going to hit it. I need to come back a little bit. So standing leg, your hands are far forwards. It's like in a flat back position. So you brought your left leg up. And now bring your right hand around your right ankle. Using your left hand for support. Folding yourself down over your right leg. Now if you can bend into the standing leg, bend into the lifted leg, and then reach it up to the sky. And then lowering the back leg down. Step the right foot forwards. Coming into a half split. So bringing your right leg a little bit further forwards. Folding over the right leg. That deep stretch into hamstring. Then flexing forwards, stretching forwards, so bending and extending the right leg. So you can stay here or here. So moving a little bit further into it, sliding the left foot back, sliding the right foot forwards. Take your blocks if you need to. Take a cushion. Use your props. So wiggling that right foot forward, sliding the left foot back. Start to have the body upright if you can to start. Working into these hips. Breathing deeply. I find one side much harder than the other. This is new for me too. But hold it here just for a few more breaths. With every exhale, just see if you can release yourself down a little bit more, a little bit more. If you have it, reach your body forwards over the right leg. Coming back up. Push into your blocks or into the floor. Just slide the legs towards each other. Onto the other side, stepping the left foot forwards. First coming into that low crescent lunge, Koundinyasana. So working into the hip flexors. Reaching the arms up to the sky. Look up to your hands. Place the right hand down. Twist and open to the side. So really stretching the side body. Over to the other way. So really stretching all the way down. The right leg all the way to the right fingertips. Then placing the hands down. Folding over the front leg. Tap the back toes. Coming into that pyramid pose just for a little bit. So we've got a 45-degree angle on the right foot. Folding over the front leg. Reach the arms forwards if you want. Then bring your weights into that front leg. Bring the hands forwards. Coming into a flat back, lifting the right leg. Then bring in the left hand. Grasping hold of the left ankle. Use your right hand for support. Start to lift. Point the toes if you want. If that feels good, of the right foot. Then if you want, bending the knee of both legs. Bending both legs. Bringing yourself down a little bit more over the standing leg. Pointing the right leg up to the sky. Drawing the head down towards the leg. One more big breath in. Slowly lowering the foot down with control. Coming into your half split. So left foot forwards. Right foot back. Fold over the front leg. And working a little bit more into both hip flexors. Straightening and extending the front leg. Sliding that left leg back now. You can also use a bolster or a cushion underneath the front leg if you want to land onto something, feel something is there. Use your blocks if that feels good as you start to work that left leg a little bit further forward, wiggling it forward, sliding the right leg back. This side is really stiff today. This is normally my easier side, if there's such a word. Breathing deeply, trying to keep that body nice and upright. Let's hold it here, another 3 deep breaths. If you want to reach forward, stretch a little bit more over the front leg. Coming up. Push into your blocks. Push into the hands to slide the legs in towards each other with control. Well done, everyone. After yesterday's leg workout, my legs are really stiff today. So well done staying with it. From here, we are going to roll down onto our backs now. Come into a little finishing sequence. Stay with me. So rolling down nice and slowly onto your backs. Coming into a little shoulder stand. So placing your hands onto the mat, hands, palms facing down, and roll up onto your shoulders. Bring your forehead onto the knees onto the forehead. Take the hands to the lower back, into the sacrum. Keep the elbows wiggled close together as much as possible. Your fingertips are pointing up to the sky. Extend the legs. Do not move your head in shoulder stand. If you feel like a little variation, cross the legs and take the hands onto the knees. Ooh, I'm super wobbly today. And bring the knees down either side of the ears for a little Hanumanasana. If you're still in your shoulder stand with the legs extended, take yourself into plow. If your legs were crossed, you can bring those down either side of the ears, Hanumanasana. Hug the knees in, inside the knees, either side of the ears. Make yourself into a tight ball. Then coming back into plow, everybody. Extending the arms long, palms facing down. Squeeze into the thighs. And then rolling down into your fish pose through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. So landing the bottom onto the hands. Control the legs, so squeeze those legs, keep them active, point the toes. Use your stomach muscles, your abdominals. When the feet touch down, bring the elbows in nice and close. Open the chest, push the elbows, lift the chest, then drop the head back down. But don't over squeeze the back of the neck. Imagine you have a grapefruit there, so you want to have some space in the back of the neck. Deep breaths into the belly. If you want to lift the legs, take the hands from underneath the buttocks, palms of the hands together, reach into the sky, legs at 45 degrees, squeeze into the thighs, deep breaths into the belly. Uttanapradasana. 2 more deep breaths in and out. Lowering the hands down, lowering the legs down, push into the elbows, look to the feet, and then roll the spine down. If you feel comfortable, cross your legs here. So crossing the legs, lying down. Even taking a little half lotus. Taking the arms wide away from the body. Maybe a little cactus arm, so feel the openness across the chest. Don't overarch the spine, the lower spine, so keeping the abdominals engaged. If you're in half lotus, switch to the other foot. Breathe into the hips if you're taking this half lotus. And then bring the knees into chest. Give yourselves a lovely hug in. Draw your nose up to your knees. Squeeze yourselves into a tight ball. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then extend your legs long. Rocking the hips side to side. Roll your head side to side. And then we're going to tense up the entire body. So I'd like you to make fists with the hands. Engage and squeeze into the arms, squeeze into the legs, the glutes, the abdominals, scrunch up the face, hunch the shoulders by the ears, lift the legs off the floor, the arms off the floor, squeeze every muscle, tendon, ligament in the body. Take a big breath in, hold, and let go, completely let go. Rock of the hips side to side, wiggle of the shoulders. Make all those last little fiddly wiggles. Take the arms away from the body, palms facing up. Take the legs nice and wide and turn the feet out. If you need to prop up underneath the backs and the knees, then take a cushion there. Just roll the head side to side. And then come into center. Know that your practice is complete. The physical practice is complete. Maybe you've explored some areas that you've never explored before. You're working on new things all the time, new challenges. And remember that challenge is what changes us. Ekapada, Koundinyasana, flying split. I still can't do it, but I'm learning. So learning together, working together. And also remembering that Ahimsa, non-violence. Be kind to yourself, kind to others, kind to your nature around you, your family, environment, and the universe. Non-violence, physical, mental, verbal. Just observe yourself now. Observe your body. Just scanning through any areas that you feel are still a little tense. Actively send the breath there to dissolve away that tension. Softening the face, unclenching the jaws, separating the teeth. Tongue resting heavy in the roof of the mouth, eyes resting heavy in their sockets. Uncreasing the brow, softening around the eyes. Soften the muscles around the lips. Maybe a little tiny smile in the corner of the lips. Softening the neck and shoulders and arms and hands. Upper back, lower back, abdomen, hips, buttocks, thigh, hamstrings, knees, calves, shins, ankles, feet and toes. Just scan through the body. We often hold tension without even realizing it. So allowing the body to just rest heavy. Feel yourself melting into the floor, into the mat, knowing that the floor, the earth, supports you. Just observing the breath coming and going. flowing in, flowing out. No longer needing to force or control the breath. Just taking a few more nice, gentle breaths. Slowly wiggling your fingers and toes. Reaching your arms overhead, bring your legs together. Stretching the left side, stretching the right side. And then when you're ready, taking yourself over onto the right side body. Just pause for a brief moment there. And then pressing into the left hand to come up to seated, keeping the gaze low or the eyes closed. Taking your options of Padmasana, full lotus, half lotus, cross-legged seated, or not even cross-legged. You can have your legs extended, so take that comfortable seat. Stacking the spine tall, hips, shoulders over hips, crown of the head over the center of the pelvis. Bring your hands consciously together, connecting your hands together. Feeling the energy in your body, the connection with yourself in mind, body, and spirit. Yoga, which means unity. So unifying all of those elements together. Practicing Ahimsa every day. Remembering that yoga goes beyond the mat. It's not just a physical class. It's a moving meditation, a moving practice, with very much more than just making shapes in a class. So bring your hands to your heart center, drawing your fingertips together, drawing your third eye down towards your heart, down towards your fingertips, as you honor yourself and honor your practice. Remembering your resolve, your positive intention today. The light in me honors the light in you. Peace, peace, peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for your practice today. Remember, practice, practice, practice. And all is coming. Thank you. Have a wonderful Friday, and I'll see you soon. Take care, look after yourselves and everyone around you. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Tracy, Sue, Irina, Melissa, Irina. Thank you for joining me.